Here's the tell of the tape.
10 rounds.
Well, yes, Erday, this will be his second fight in the U.S. So behind those numbers, let's see how comfortable he'll be in with the former champion who can really punch.
Well, we said at the top he's known as the Michael Jordan over in Hungary, probably the most celebrated and popular sports figure there. Trying to make his mark here in the States. He was victorious last year.
And I give him a lot of credit because as big a star as he is in Hungary, Erday, to come over to America at the age of 36, 37 and try to make a mark here after all those years over there and all the success he had over there, it's very impressive.
He was the light heavyweight champion for like 5 years, from 2004 to 2009. He was the cruiserweight champion in 2009 and really just became despondent because he thought he would get a lot of big name fighters that fight him over in Europe, and they never went. So he's trying to make his mark here and taking on Byron Mitchell and going to work early.
And Byron Mitchell is not a walk in the park. He can really bang. Here's a guy who beat Frankie Lyles when a lot of people was ducking. He beat Frankie Lyles, though it was 12 years ago. He knocked him down 4 times en route to winning by TKO.
Well, you can hear the fans here. I mean, there are a number of people waving the Hungarian flag and everything, and they're into the fight already.
And Byron Mitchell, to add to what Brian said, Byron Mitchell also knocked down, almost had out Joe Calzaghe, first time Calzaghe had ever been down. So he is a banger. The only thing is these are a pair of 37-year-olds. One's on the way up, but really never left the top, and the other has lost 6 of his last 9.
And Brian, you mentioned this is his second fight. You know, that fight he had last November looked a little rusty. Looking a little bit better here thus far. And it's early, round 1 here against Mitchell.
Yes, he looks a little bit more comfortable, early on first round. But again, as you say, Byron, yes, he's a little older now, a bit worn in the game, but power's the last thing to go.
Erday in those red trunks. Mitchell in the black.
Erday looking much sharper than he did his first fight about half a year ago when he came to America, which was a decision win. So far, he's coming out very fast, and his best punch always has been the jab. So even though he's a short, light heavyweight, that's the punch you want to watch for. And there it is.
Yeah, good jab there.
I'm looking at Byron. He's much bigger than when me and him roommated a few times in the amateurs.
Good combination by Erday. Letting the fist fly here in the first round, and the crowd's into it. Once again, Erday, combinations, landing.
He's sharp, very sharp for a first round especially.
But this is nothing new. Byron Mitchell, he's used to guys overwhelming him with hand speed. He relies purely on the power.
You know, we touched upon this earlier. You know, he was frustrated talking about Erday when he won the cruiserweight title that he didn't get any big-time fighters, maybe a Roy Jones or somebody like that, Tarver, to come over and fight him over in Europe. He just quit.
Yeah, it was very strange, and now he's signed with promoter Lou DiBella, of course, of Broadway Boxing, and with Lou, he's going to get a shot, and that shot could come. Should he win this fight, that shot could come very soon.
Don't let him win on me, right? He waiting, you lean on him, then he run little short hand combinations. Don't do that. Stay long, pop on the jab, and start
Seconds out!
Heard the corner there of Mitchell. What'd you take from that, Brian?
Don't know. He said give angles and pop the jab. That's not Byron Mitchell.
Well, here's round 2. Zolt Erday was very, very active in round 1, working the body.
The 2 things you see from Erday, 1 is he's very consistent. And 2, he makes himself a small package. Keeps his gloves up, keeps his elbows tucked, and throws short punches. All lend themselves to success, standing in the pocket and being able to punch and not get hit back.
Left hand connects to the face of Mitchell.
You're right. Erday stays very tight on the inside.
Mitchell counters with his left jab. combination by Erday.
Nice work by Erday, nice steady work. Keep in mind, this is a guy who's fought 248 rounds as a pro. That's a lot for this day and age.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the hands, good hooks.
But what I see in Erday here is the fact that, yes, he's throwing combinations, he's throwing them in bunches, but all Byron had to do is step back when he starts punching. His balance is not really there. If you watch Erday when he punches, he's squared off. All Byron got to do is back up, and he's bound to fall in. Then Byron can counter with short uppercuts, left hooks.
Well, I'm with you about Byron Mitchell's power because at 168, where he was a world champion 2 times, he was one of the big punchers in boxing. Whether he can still do it at this age, I don't know.
Erday, again, combination.
Remember, after the Calzaghe fight that you mentioned, his first knockout, Calzaghe got up, which that was sort of Ron Lau, George Foreman type fight. Calzaghe got up and he knocked him out. After that, he's been knocked out several times. So there is some kink in the armor.
One of those losses, Byron Mitchell lost to Beibut Shumanov, who's now a light heavyweight champion. And that's the fighter I'd like to see Erday fight, because I think Erday could beat Shumanov.
Erday just going to work with the combinations. He certainly has the fans. You hear him chanting.
You can hit Erday, but it's hard to hit him flush.
I was just about to say, I want to see how relaxed and calm Erday is, say rounds 4, 5, 6, because he's throwing nice combinations, and Byron just steadily moving forward. So will that bother him in later rounds? We'll see.
More combinations as the round comes to a close.
Lass wir Zeit bisschen. Jetzt die klare. Immer vorne. Immer wieder schön bewegen, vorbeischauen lassen. Tiefer stehen, den rechten Schuss besser setzen. Selbst nicht so tief gehen, nicht die linke Hand fallen.
Take a look at some of the action here from the last round, and we talked about the combinations by Erday.
Yeah, Byron Mitchell just putting his hands up there, but Erday's a veteran, and he knows that if Mitchell does that, Erday can just punch around the high guard and land his shots. And in that corner of Erday, that's Fritz Zdunek, hard name to say, one of the top German trainers, and trains Vitaly Klitschko, among others. Great trainer from Germany.
These light heavyweights are going 10 rounds. This is round 3. So Erday in the red trunks. It's just the second fight here since coming to the States.
And these Hungarian fans, they like having somebody to cheer for.
They love it.
There are not a lot of Hungarian professional fighters.
Few Hungarian flags here in the audience, and they're cheering their guy on.
See, Byron is allowing him to get into a rhythm. A nice right hand by Byron. You have to pick the pace up. You know, Erday, obviously 37 years old. He's been consistently inactive the past several years. So pick the pace up, make him work. Make him have to dig deep in the later rounds.
Although I have to say, we look at these two guys being 37 and we say that's advanced. The light heavyweight champion of the world's 9 years older than these guys. 9 years. Amazing, Bernard Hopkins.
Good left.
Nice 1-2 by Erday.
There's the left again by Erday, connects. And the combination.
Well, Erday is doing something very smart here. He's in close, and as he's about to step out, he knows Mitchell's going to relax, so he pops a jab off.
This has to be frustrating for Mitchell because Erday looks like he's right in front of him to be hit.
And next thing you know, it's a 1-2-3 combination by Erday.
Exactly. Either Erday lands his shots or moves away. But Mitchell maybe a little bit shown signs, both from his record and from this fight, of being a little bit of a shot fighter because he's not reacting fast enough. The message is not going from his brain to his gloves fast enough to land the shots.
Erday continues to connect. Here comes Mitchell now. And once again, Erday with the 1-2-3 combination.
He's out of danger and he's right back.
Right hand connects by Erday.
Smart guy. But he's been in the ring long enough to be able to make these adjustments.
And he was a top amateur Erday as well. 1997, he's a world champion. And a bronze medalist in 2000 in Sydney in the Olympic Games.
Final seconds of round 3. Zolt Erday. Byron Mitchell. The surprising thing that, Mitchell, and I think you made note of this, his last 2 fights, I think he lost by knockout.
Exactly right. He's been fighting good competition, but until he fought Joe Calzaghe back in 03, he had never been stopped. Since then, 3-6 in his last 9, all 6 losses by stoppage. But Erday, on the other hand, when he was champion at light heavyweight of the WBO, almost always went the distance. So we'll see if he gets a stoppage. He's hitting him enough where he might wear him down.
Yeah, I was going to say he's certainly going to wear him down if he continues with these 1-2-3 combinations.
Not a heavy breath from Erday in that corner.
And that's what I mean. You have to make Erday work. In the corner, he's sitting back, he's relaxed. You have to make him work, assert himself.
Erday comes out once again. Movement.
And Byron Mitchell's last win was 2 years ago. And I happened to be at that fight. He fought David Telesco. He hit David Telesco with a right hand. Half the building fell. And David fell with half the building.
Let's see if he can get that right hand off. So far, it's Erday. He's pounded Mitchell throughout the first 3 rounds.
Erday boxes in a tight little circle. You see him moving. He stays in the pocket, stays within reach of his opponent. He'll take a step to his left like he just did there.
That leading left jab.
And that's the benefit with a lot of these European boxers. They lead 99.9% of the time with a nice stiff jab.
And it is just connecting like clockwork to Byron Mitchell's face.
And let this fight be a lesson to young kids. Hey, Erday's not a tall guy. As a matter of fact, he's already very short light heavyweight, barely 5'10". And that jab is landing all night long, and it always does for him because he throws it with conviction and throws it at the right time.
That's the key. The rhythm of his jab is just beautiful. And here you have a perfect example of an American boxer who looks for power shots on the outside. Jab is a lost start here in the U.S.
Oh, good combination. Left, right, left by Erday. Comes back with a left hook.
And Byron Mitchell, former world champion, former 2-time world champion. You have to make the adjustment. There's enough rounds behind you now to be able to make the adjustment. Just moving forward, taking shots. It's not working, so switch up.
Mitchell seems a half step behind.
Yeah.
Like he's reacting to shots after they land.
And I think that punishment's starting to take its toll. As Erday is pounding him with that jab.
And the viewers may say, what do you mean? I know exactly what you mean. It's taking a toll because now when he lands a jab or right hands, Mitchell's moving backwards.
Yes.
See? As opposed the first 3 rounds, he's still moving forward when he's getting hit.
And we know Byron Mitchell is not the kind of fighter who's going to be effective moving back.
Oh, good lefts by Erday.
The jab is a work of art there.
Here we go. Round 5.
I'm as impressed with Erday in between rounds as I am with what he does during the rounds. He doesn't take a deep breath.
I was going to say, no deep breaths. It just comes right back out and goes right back to work.
I think we're at the point in the fight now where you have to say, we know what Mitchell's only hope is, but can he land the shot? Is he capable at this point of landing the big shots to turn the fight around?
Listen, he's capable, and there's an opportunity there for him because Erday is clearly comfortable, confident. I don't think he'll be expecting anything from Byron at this point. So all Byron got to do is just let his hands go. Don't wait the counter. You have to try to lead. Well, for starters, you got to move your head away from that jab.
Yeah, I was going to say, Erday has, this is textbook when it comes to using that jab, working the combinations. There it is.
And it's strange because watch Byron. He's moving forward, he's moving his shoulders, but his head is not moving. So he's getting hit with a jab out while his shoulders are moving. You got to start trying to throw lead right hands if you're Byron. Take the jab away from Erday because obviously the jab is the key right now.
And it is working. Once again, Erday connecting with the jab, also connected with a left hook.
Guys, let's keep in mind, Result Erday is 32-0. He's never lost. And he's been at the world-class level for a long time. Didn't fight a lot of big names when he was WBO light heavyweight champ. But to keep the title for 11 defenses, if you're fighting your grandmother 11 times, is still pretty impressive.
You're right, because it's the mental consistency.
Right.
You're right.
Well, this is all about whether he can get one more shot at the title, and I believe it will come.
More combinations by Erday. And Mitchell, I mean, he just looks like a beaten man. We're only in round 5.
Nice hand speed by Erday, too, in those combinations.
Good left. Connects. Mitchell misses with the right hand.
It's just a little too slow.
But Byron Mitchell's always had heart, and he's showing it, and he's going to need it in this fight.
More combinations by Erday. What is keeping Mitchell up?
Well, Mitchell is somewhat one-dimensional, and that one dimension is playing right into Erday's hands right now. Because Mitchell keeps walking to him, and basically all he's doing is walking into shots.
Oh, what a combination. That left rocked Mitchell.
Maybe it's time for the corner to start thinking about whether they should be intervening here.
Looking good though, man. He's tired of you up, right? You just gotta dig, dig. This for your kids, man. Dig, hit is there, Byron. Look, turn his feet. Move your feet, don't stand in front of the
This guy just told Byron Mitchell you're looking good.
I was going to say, he just said he looked, I didn't want to say anything, Brian. But he just told him, you're looking good.
Right? One time he get in the car, when you get in the car, he run real short on you. That's all he doing, man. Stay along, bam. Take your time, and when he try to slide to the side, back out with a jab. Only time he gets you is when you land up close to him. Move there. Pop a jab along, pop a 1, 2, 3. Move ahead, slipping, move in.
6th round coming up.
It's easy, Byron. Come on, baby.
Wow, he said it's easy.
Let's go.
And I haven't seen Byron Mitchell throw too many punches here lately.
If it's so easy, maybe the trainer should try doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, not only that, the instructions he gave is not Byron Mitchell. Step to the side, work a jab.
Maybe he's confused. Maybe he thinks it's a different fighter.
He think he's looking at Zolt Erday, who's doing all of that.
I mean, because Byron come right back out, stand right in front of the guy.
And keep sucking that left
Right,
jab.
right, eating the jab.
And what I like when you see a fighter like Erday, you know that he's such a pro, and he's been through it so much. There's not going to be any change.
Oh, what a
Nice
combination,
right.
and that sends Mitchell down.
You can only take with so many of those.
Let's see if Erday can finish him off. And he's going right after him.
Not a lot of body work from Erday, but at this point, I don't know if he needs it or not.
Left hand connects. More combinations. He is tattooing Mitchell.
Mitchell doesn't want to seem to hold. He should be holding on, buying a little bit of time.
I don't think I've ever seen Byron Mitchell hold.
It's going to cost him here, I think.
Fans are chanting. They want to see him knocked down. Left hand connects by Erday.
Mitchell still walking directly into shots.
Good combination. Right hand. That one hurt. Oh, and he's down again.
He's right back up.
Be a good time for the corner to step in.
I don't know about this one.
I was just about to say he's taking unnecessary shots, but he's been taking unnecessary shots to pass
That's a good
around.
stoppage. That's a good stoppage. Eddie Cotton.
Caesars Atlantic City brings
Impressive performance by Zsolt Erday.
Well, I think Steve touched on it. Steve said Erday is a professional, and that's exactly what he showed today. He's professional, just went about work, no showboating.
Yeah, just methodically took him apart.
Broke him down.
So Zsolt Erday remains undefeated.
And I would like to see him get the opportunity to win a world title one more time as we see the knockdown.
And that was the first one in this round. Here, just take a look at that second one. Oh, that right hand. That was the one that did it to him.
And that sequence there, Byron Mitchell didn't make a mistake. He threw a jab. Erday slipped under the jab, came up with a hook or a left uppercut, but he was already a little wobbly from the first knockdown at that juncture.
Behind you.
See, I like to see this, and I tell you why, professionalism. Because Erday is not running around the ring, jumping